What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Inspired Stories for the month of February. This is episode number 24, and once again, we are going to be highlighting another great independent artist today. Actually, someone from my hometown here in Alliance, Ohio, and he goes by the name of Timmy the Boy. Now, I actually went to the same high school as Timmy. And he was like a grade under me, I believe, so he's not that much younger than I am. But we never really, talked in high school, anything like that. It wasn't really until probably around 2017 where I even knew that he was doing music. And I think he had like a pretty popular SoundCloud page. He was collaborating with some people that I knew of as well. And he was doing primarily hip hop and rap music and things like that. I didn't really know what to think at first. You know what I mean? Like I had heard some of his stuff, and I was like, I don't really know how to feel about the sound and everything. But again, never really connected with him. Never really knew like his story or anything. And then fast forward to, I want to say probably the end of 2020 or going into 2021. So it was a while after that, I had seen that he was kind of changing the direction of his music a little bit, putting out more primarily alternative, some rock stuff, pretty much changing, the sound and style. And I remember, I forget which one, it might have been Never Enough. One of his releases from the last couple years, I just happened to see that he had released it, checked it out, and I was really like a fan of that style as opposed to what he was doing beforehand, because I honestly felt like, this was something more unique, something that, not a lot of people were doing, because let's be honest, how many SoundCloud rappers do we know out there that are just putting out music and there's not really, care and time and thought going into it. I feel like a lot of people can do that and more power to them, but I feel like it takes more effort and time to really carve out your own style and your own sound. And I honestly just thought that, him doing this style really fit him a lot better. So I actually reached out to him in 2021 about being on the Proven Knowledge podcast, and he agreed and everything. And that was kind of our first time even like discussing it. I just told him like, I'm a fan of what you're doing. And then obviously he had his own like show going on at the time at the YWCA here in town, and the money was going to help that organization. So we kind of did like a parallel, like have him on the show, have him promote his concert, and then I obviously got to go to his show as well, which was very awesome and a great experience. And as far as the podcast goes, we did that first. I remember he had his friend Josh come over as well, who is one of his close collaborators and someone that is usually in his live band as well during the shows. And that was just a great like organic conversation. It was actually the first time that I got to do a podcast in person with the guest. And obviously I remember I messed up the recording and I plugged the mic into the wrong like input on my laptop, so the audio was just garbage. But it was still like a great episode, and that's still one of my most played episodes as well. Just from, Timmy having such a great support group and like a great fan base here in the local area. Like a lot of people, check that out. And then I think for me, like just going to the show a couple weeks later, because this was probably October at the time, I was just impressed by the turnout, the support that he has as far as people that really just care about him, I think, as a human being, more so than, even just the music itself. And, I think that's something that is vital to have if you can. And I think I've always noticed that about him, and like his music is just, he's got a great, really just a support group around him. And I think that he just is doing it for the right reasons as well, because like I said, I remember even having that conversation on the podcast about, why he's doing music, and he really just talked about, even outside of money, it's not really about that. It's really just about doing it because it's a passion, and it's really necessary for him to do just because he loves it. And that's something that, can be appreciated on all levels. And just even him doing the shows for the YWCA, which I believe he's since done one or two more since then, doing it for a cause bigger than himself, cares about the community. I always see him doing, different events here and there in the community, supporting other creatives, just doing his part. And that's very impressive. That's something that I, look at as, something that's more vital even than just putting out good music, is what can we do to give back. And being from an area where we're from, where there's not always a lot of, rallying around each other. There might not always be a lot of great things happening. There can definitely be dark times. There's a lot of different crime. There's a lot of different bad situations that can happen. But I think as, creatives, it's our job to, really just give people hope. And I think that's what Timmy has done with not only his music, but just his efforts to better himself and the community. And once again, hats off to him for that. And Timmy, if you're watching this, man, you already know I'm just going to keep supporting what you're doing, and just keep doing you, keep being a genuine person, and a genuine human being all around. And I'm just looking forward to seeing, what you can do next, because I think you're just going to keep getting better and better with the music, and evolving your sound, and putting on, even better live performances, and getting to see you and your band in that raw form with the raw energy. It was great, and I definitely want to do it again soon, so I'm gonna have to make that happen. And obviously, we're gonna get him on the podcast again soon as well, because we got to do a part 2. That might be this year, actually. We can do part 2. But yeah, just if you've never heard of Timmy or what he does, the first thing I would do is just go to Spotify, Apple Music, type in Timmy the Boy, check out what he has. Like I said, if you're a fan of alt rock and those types of styles, I think you would really enjoy, a brand new independent artist, someone who is putting out some really quality stuff. So go check them out. And if you are in the local area, if you're in, Northeast Ohio, Canton, Akron, Alliance, anywhere in there, just keep an eye out for, his shows, and, what you can do to kind of help out as well. If there's community efforts that he's a part of, just go ahead and, keep an eye out, keep an ear out, and I'll put some of his information too in the description of this video. So yeah, that was episode 24 of Inspired Stories. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next month with another great independent act. So until then, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.